Let us discuss continuation of aphorism 3, that is knowledge of physician today. Let's see knowledge of therapeutic relation between disease and drugs. After having knowledge of disease and knowledge of medicine, we should know how to apply knowledge of medicine to knowledge of disease. Diseases are cured by administration of remedies. So as to get the cure, that is to treat the case successfully, law of cure should be discovered. The law of interrelation between drug and disease must be established scientifically through logical analysis and experimental verification. This helps us to practice art of cure with certainty. Hahnemann has arrived at a therapeutic law of cure similia similibus curanter through scientific method in the following way: exact observation, correct interpretation, rational explanation, and scientific construction. While going through first aphorism, we know that what was the way of practice of medicine was going during Hahnemann's days. So Hahnemann was not happy with this and he renounced the practice and he started translating the books. While translating Cullen's Materia Medica, he comes across the sentence of that cinchona bark has got a febrifuge properties, that is fever producing properties. He was not happy with the sentence because when he was a practitioner, he was prescribing cinchona bark for the fever. So now he wanted to disprove Cullen's sentence, hence he thought of conducting the experiment. He took cinchona bark on himself. To his surprise, he found that he was getting fever-like symptoms, ague-like symptoms, chills, tiredness, so on. He felt that could be he was psychologically already accepted the fact and hence he is feeling so. He conducted the same thing on his spouse and children, friends. Then he came to a correct interpretation that yes, somewhere we are finding that cinchona bark has got a febrifuge properties. Then for this, he wanted to give a rational explanation that why is it that cinchona bark is producing febrifuge properties but at the same time it is curing. He wanted to arrive at the general principle, so he went on conducting series of experiments with the all remedies available with him. Then he comes to a interpretation that yes, this is a general law existing in the nature, that is similia similibus curanter, which is a therapeutic law of nature itself, and hence it helps us to cure maximum number of cases. Already we have seen that there was Albert von Haller and Alexander. Both had thought of this but they had not applied it clinically. This was a Hahnemann for the first time who started applying this principle to almost all the cases and he comes to be a successful person. Once he starts practicing, he comes across with lot of problems. So he goes on solving one after the other. Then he goes on putting the fundamental principles for homeopathy. In this way, he puts the scientific edifice to the construction of homeopathy. So now prime duty of the physician is to cure the sick. And to cure patient, one must choose a similar remedy. When you are choosing to choose this remedy, physician should study, analyze this case stepwise according to the scientific method. Now how to choose? What are the steps to arrive at similimum? So see, first step is case taking. Here, when a patient comes in front of you, he goes on narrating, then you go on listening to him. So that is called as case taking. Whereas while the patient goes on narrating his case, you go on writing it. And then at the same time, you are trying to understand what he really means. So this is recording and interpretation. Once you recorded the case, you have understood the case, now you have to define the problem. What's wrong with him? Which system is in problem? In that system, actually what is happening, whether it is inflammation, whether it is destruction or what. So you are diagnosing the case. Then comes a classification and evaluation of symptoms. Here what do? You try to find out whether these are the common symptoms, uncommon symptoms, or you have any peculiar symptoms. Are there any mild symptoms more, particular symptoms more? According to that, you go on grading the symptoms. Then you will have to arrive at totality, and you try to bring a genius of the case, means you would like to make a picture of the case, and then you come to selection of repertory. Once you understood that the case is got psychologically oriented, then you will select the Kent repertory, and then you find that there are a lot of particulars. Then you go ahead with Boric. Then you find the patient is only giving you clinical way. Then you have Clark's. So like this, you will have to select the repertory. Once you have selected the repertory, the process will be taught to you how to choose the remedy. Then you will be arriving at a proper remedy, that is called as repertorial result, which will give you lot of remedies. So once all these remedies have come, means you have you are continuously reducing your burden. From 3000 remedies, you are arriving somewhere around at 100 remedies or 80 remedies, 50 remedies, something like that. Now from this 50 remedies, you will have to choose a correct remedy to that particular individual. So that is, so with the help of Materia Medica, you are going to analyze the repertorial result, and then you are going to prescribe the medicine to the person. Now lies the burden that you will have to choose a dose. Now it's not enough that you have chosen the remedy. You're very happy that yes, we have chosen the remedy and I think this is a correct remedy. Let me which potency you are going to give, how many doses you are going to give. This all becomes very important. So the selection of the remedy is hardly said to be finished until the potency and dosage are decided upon. There are many views, theories, controversies regarding the prescription of the dose. Now, what is the general law? In acute diseases, dose is given frequently to suffice the susceptibility. In chronic diseases, dose of the medicine is given infrequently. So now Hahnemann says that one must prescribe a minimum dose. So minimum dose is a dose which is so small that it is not capable of producing symptoms when used therapeutically. Okay, now we have chosen remedy, we have chosen the dose, and now we will have to see how frequently we are supposed to give this medicine. So the three factors, remedy, dosage and potency, are necessarily involved in the operation of prescribing. The first question which confronts us is whether to give one dose or repeated doses. The second question is, if we give one dose, when shall we repeat? If we give repeated doses, how often shall we repeat the dose, and when shall we stop giving? The only rule which can be laid down with safety is to repeat the dose only when improvement ceases. That means whenever a patient coming to us, he keeps on telling that he is better compared to last time. Then go on, repeat the medicine only when the case comes with the symptoms. The nature and progress of disease will determine under this rule how often the dose is to be repeated. Thank you.